Okay, this next part, we're doing the same thing, but now the question is giving us a table. I'm just showing you this so you can see the questions might show you information in different ways, but we are actually doing the same thing. Okay, so question 13, we are still finding the rate of change or the slope. How do we find the slope? We need 2 points. I'm going to pick 2 points from this table. Any 2 points. So this point and this point. Okay, so I'm going to put this point first. We have -1, -1, and we have 0, -3. How do we find the rate of change? Change in y first. So -1 minus -3. That's 2. Now -1 minus 0. -1. 2 divided by -1 is -2. So our rate of change is -2. Now we need to find the y-intercept. So if you remember what I said last time about a graph here, if the y-intercept here is 3, this is actually 0.03. The y-intercept is always when x is 0. Okay, this is for y-intercept. The y-intercept is always when x is 0. Okay, if I give you another example, the y-intercept is here. Say this is the number 8. So the y-intercept is 8. This is the point 0, 8. So again, x is 0. Because all along this line, x is always going to be 0. Okay? So the y-intercept is always when x is 0. So if we look at our table here, do we have any points where x is 0? Yes, we do. The point here is when x is 0. So the y-intercept is 0 minus 3. Y-intercept is 0 minus 3. Question 14, find the slope and y-intercept. So I'm going to pick 2 points. 0 minus 4, 1 minus 6. Change in y first. -4 minus -6 equals 2. 0 minus 1 is -1. 2 divided by -1 is -2. Equals -2. So the slope is -2. Now the y-intercept, we said the y-intercept is when x is 0. If we look at these points, this point here is when x is 0. So the y-intercept equals 0 minus 4. And the last question, question 15. Find the slope and y-intercept. So the table is a bit different, but it's the same thing. We are picking 2 points, this point and this point. We have 2, 9. Remember x first, x and then y. So 2, 9 and 5, 0. Change in y first. 9 minus 0 equals 9. 2 minus 5 is -3. 9 divided by minus 3 is minus 3. So the slope is minus 3. The y-intercept, if we look at our x values, there is no point where x is 0. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we can use our slope and we can go back. So if we do if we go back 1 point here, this will be 1, 9, and we use this minus 3. Sorry, because we're going backwards, it will be the opposite, so plus 3. Again, go back, it will be 0, which is what we want, plus 3 again. So 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 3, 15. 0, 15. X will be 0 and y will be 15. The y-intercept will be 0, 15. Now this question is asking, what is the x-intercept? When we are looking at the x-intercept, we want it when y is 0. Okay? If you remember before, the y-intercept is when x is 0. So when we are finding the x-intercept, the y must be 0. Are there any points where y is 0? Yes. This point here. Y is 0. So 5, 0. That is the x-intercept. Because if you look at this graph here, this is our x-axis. If the line hits the x at 5, this point is actually 0. This point is actually 5, 0. 5 in the x, 0 in the y. Okay, so again, x-intercept is when y is 0. This point here, y is 0.